Recording.
Hi, I'm Randy Davidson. I'm the Assistant Director for the Career and Academic Planning Center, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about the importance of interviewing skills and in making sure that your resume is prepared. Do you have any questions for me today?
Just a few. Yeah, sure.
Any questions, and I'll go through them.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Okay, I've been working here for 10 years. I've been in the Career and Academic Planning Center for 3. It was a newly formed program by the president, Dr. Keating, and it's an important asset to helping students understand what it is that why they're here, what careers are available, what are the in-demand careers, and how to accomplish their goals and setting them out for the employment world, for the workforce. I do enjoy very much what I do. I think that it is a helpful, important asset to the college and to the students to make sure that they have a pathway for their academics as well as their career and where they want to be at the end of their graduation day. What do they want to do when that time comes? And it comes pretty quickly when you're very busy and you're working and you're trying to get that grade point average, whether you're transferring or going into the career field. It's good to know where you want to be in a year or in 5 years. Question, do you remember what your first interview was like? Very well. You never forget that first interview. Interviews make you nervous. Everybody's nervous in an interview. So you always remember being a little bit nervous, wondering how it's going to be, wondering what the people on that other side of the desk are like. That's very, very normal. And the most important thing in an interview is to know yourself, to know what your qualifications are, how you fit that job, and to have that confidence to go in there knowing you have the skills needed to be the person that they need to hire. There's really only 2 questions that an employer has. One is, are you qualified for this job? And the other is, do you fit in this company? And that's what you need to keep in mind when you go into an interview. Those 2 things are the questions that every question they ask you will come around to those 2 points. What is an important question you can ask a potential employer? And that's a good point. You should never leave an interview at the end when they say, do you have any questions for us? You should never say no. You really need to say, yes, you have some questions, and those questions should be very focused on what that job is. A couple good ones are, what do you expect from me within 3 months after this job? It tells them that you have your future thinking and that you want to be successful. Another question you can ask is, why is there an opening for this position? It kind of tells you, are they a growing company? Are they filling a new position? Is this something that you're going to be replacing someone? You can ask, will there be training, additional training for me to be successful in this job? So as you can see, every question you ask needs to come back around to how successful you will be for that company. What you can do for that company or corporation to be a good employee. That means a lot to them. Another important thing in an interview is it's a 2-way street. Sometimes you'll go in and you'll think, I don't think I want to work for this company. This isn't where I want to be. At the end of that interview, you say thank you and you leave. But if you sit there and you think that interview went well, if you feel confident and you feel like it was a good communication, you need to say that to that interviewer. Tell them, I think this was a great interview. I enjoyed our conversation. I'm very interested in this job, and I hope I'm the person you decide to hire. Ask them and tell them. They can't read your mind. They don't know how you're thinking. But if you tell them at the end of the day, you will leave an impression on them because you might be the only person interviewed that asked for the job. So keep that in mind when you're leaving, and especially if it's a job that you like. When should you contact that employer? Yes, the day after or within a few hours. You want to make sure that you contact them. In that thank you, it can be an email or it can be a handwritten email, a handwritten note, and you want to tell them you want this job, you feel you're very qualified for the job, you felt the interview went well, that you might want to say something, maybe something came up in the interview that was striking. If they ask you, one of the questions they'll always ask you is, where do you want to be in 5 years? So you want to tell them, I want to be working for a company like yours. I'd like to stay in this company. I hope I'm moving forward. And maybe make mention in that thank you letter that you have ambition to grow within the company. Let them have some idea what you really want to do as far as being a fit and being in that growth process. When it comes to your resume, what some things you should include, there's 3 things in a resume that you need to make sure you have. First of all, your qualifications. The very top of your resume needs to be your summary of qualifications that align with that job. If that employer sees that you read those qualifications they're looking for, and then you align your qualifications with theirs, it makes it easy for them to see you fit. The second on your resume would be your education. You want to make sure they understand that you are in an education field now, whether you're still in school or that you have those qualifications as someone who's completed their associate's degree. Important to put that information in there. And the third is your professional experience. That professional experience can be a job you have or volunteer work. Many people think that because they volunteer and they're not paid, that it's not worth putting in their professional experience. It's just the opposite. It's very important. Any volunteer work you've done gives value to your skills. So you want to make sure that you put in that professional experience, not only those skills that you've learned on the job, but those skills that you've learned in a volunteer capacity. And how do you go about helping someone decide to choose a career? We have several resources here. We have programs. We have Focus 2. We have a program called Cooter. Both of these programs give us great resources in taking your interests, your skills, your personality, and helping us find an industry and jobs that would fit so that you can look at those type of skills and jobs. It also tells us 2 more key important things. What will that job be in the next 5 years? Is it worth you investing your time in the academics and your time financially for that field if in 5 years it's a field that's not going to be existing much anymore? So it gives you those values to make a very educated decision as to what direction you want to take. Thank you for your time. Come to the CAP Center if you have any questions or need any assistance in any of your job seeking skills. Thank you.